7-year-old Chloe has never left her abandoned house. She lives there with her father, Henry, because her mom passed away years ago. The movie begins with Chloe peeking at an ice cream van through a hole. Strange things are happening outside her house. The birds look weird, like they're glitching, and there's no electricity. Henry gets really mad when Chloe looks outside, and he tells her not to leave because of bad men who hurt her mom. Worried about his safety, Henry has a plan. He made a deal with the Reeds, their neighbors. If something happens to him, the Reeds will take care of Chloe and get paid for it. One day, while playing poker, Henry's eyes start bleeding. That night, Chloe hears a strange noise from her closet. When she opens it, a woman screams, and Chloe is scared. She scribbles on the wall, saying, "Go away, ghost," and the screaming stops. The next morning, Chloe hears an ice cream truck and peeks through a window. Harper, the neighbor's daughter, is buying ice cream. Chloe asks her to bring some. Henry stops Chloe from taking it, and Harper knows Chloe's name, even though they've never met. Henry gets angry, doesn't believe Chloe, and punishes her by putting her in the closet. The next day, Henry enters the closet to apologize to Chloe, who remains upset and insists on going outside. To soothe her, Henry promises ice cream if she refrains from opening the door. Departing for the grocery store, he returns later, injured and armed. Chloe searches for ice cream in the basket but finds none, leading to a heated exchange before Henry passes out. Amidst this, Chloe hears the ice cream truck's jingle. Armed with $100 bill, she ventures outside. The ice cream man lures her in with a cone, persuading her to join him on a trip to the park. During the drive, Chloe witnesses the outside world for the first time, noting a billboard depicting a person bleeding from the eyes with a 911 call prompt. Although Chloe draws a parallel to her father, she denies experiencing such bleeding. Arriving at the park, the ice cream man prompts Chloe about her unique abilities. Unresponsive, Chloe plays on the swing until he aggressively swings her. Frightened, she pleads for him to stop, revealing an attempt to evoke her powers. A policeman intervenes, requesting the man to step away from Chloe. Claiming to be Chloe's grandfather, the man is denied by Chloe. The officer asks to see his eyes. Alan, now addressing the officer as a bad guy who harmed Chloe's mother, prompts Chloe to scream for him to leave. Surprisingly, it works. Acknowledging Chloe's uniqueness, Alan escorts her home, sharing details about her mother, Mary, and offering a picture. Alan, actually Chloe's grandfather, imparts a powder and instructs her to use it on her father when she hears the ice cream truck. The powder takes its course, lulling Henry into a deep sleep. After a few hours, Henry awakens to find Chloe immersed in drawing. Accusing him of deception about the external threats, they engage in a heated confrontation. Later that night, Chloe contemplates Mary's photograph and conjures an imaginary encounter with her. The closet stirs with noise, drawing Chloe's attention. She enters and encounters the apparition she had seen days ago. Now identified as her mother, Mary, Chloe introduces herself, but Mary dismisses her as a hallucination. In the morning, Chloe silently observes the news while Henry sleeps. The broadcast unveils information possessing super abilities that cause bleeding eyes, resulting in thousands of casualties. The government responded by establishing the ADF, confining them to an underground facility on Mount Maddock, deemed illegal and subject to immediate elimination. ADF Agent Ray discloses a plan on Mount Maddock for military use. Distraught by the news, Chloe yearns for adoption by the Reeds family to experience a semblance of normalcy and maternal affection. Subsequently, Chloe engages in play with paper toys. Mary begins acknowledging her daughter's genuine presence. Chloe engages in conversation with her mother, is alive but currently held captive on Mount Maddock. However, shortly after, Mary mysteriously disappears. The next day, Chloe shares her mother's story with Henry, who remains unconvinced. Faced with desperation, Chloe attempts to drug her father. Henry catches on and pursues her to the door. Chloe commands him to sleep, causing her own eyes to bleed for the first time. Meeting Alan in his truck, Chloe learns about his plan. Alan reveals that Chloe's mother is still alive but detained on Mount Maddock. They plan to visit Mount Maddock by seeking the assistance of ADF Agent Ray. Alan takes Chloe to meet Agent Ray, fabricating a story of being a priest with Chloe as his adopted daughter, asking Ray to protect her and escort them to Mount Maddock. Agent Ray checks for blood traces under Chloe protests, leading Ray to call for backup. Fortunately, Alan and Chloe escape by inexplicably disappearing. Subsequently, Alan's invisibility is revealed, facilitated by using hydrogen peroxide to eliminate blood traces. The duo flees, with Chloe requesting to return home, but Alan aims to teach her to use her powers to aid her mother. Using her powers, Chloe compels Alan to drive home. Unexpectedly, Henry emerges on the road, taking Alan and his truck, leading to their sudden disappearance. Henry brings Alan home, securing him to a chair. Upon returning to Chloe, Henry begins to unravel the truth. His ability involves creating a time bubble that slows external time while individuals within the bubble function normally. The time bubble around their house remained effective as long as Henry stayed awake. In the outside world, only a few months had passed since Chloe's mother got arrested. However, for the duo, 7 years had quietly slipped away within the confines of their home. Sensing it's time to release Chloe, Henry escorts her to the Reeds as per their arrangement. Stephen agrees and presents Nancy and Harper. Nancy, realizing departing, they plead with the Reeds not to involve the police. Back home, Henry, shocked at Chloe's bleeding eyes, apprehensively acknowledges her newfound abilities. Fearing her, he confines her to the closet. In this confinement, Chloe encounters her mother, Mary, held at Mount Maddock, until a prison guard forcefully drags Mary away. Upon emerging, Chloe confides in Henry about her mother. Initially skeptical, Henry eventually comprehends the truth from Alan. Alan reveals that during their attack on Mount Maddock, Mary was detained while he escaped, mistakenly believing Mary was killed. Chloe, alerted by her neighbor Nancy's report to the police, leading to a fatal misunderstanding with the ADF agents. The Reeds are wrongly arrested, causing strife between Henry and Chloe. In her room, Chloe envisions Mary's capture, prompting Henry and Alan's arrival. Mary, facing imminent death, prompts a futile attempt by Henry to shoot the illusionary doctor. Chloe intervenes, manipulating the doctor's mind and using the device for his demise. The doorbell rings, revealing Agent Ray's arrival for an investigation. To evade scrutiny, Henry freezes time and poses as a realtor, aided by Alan in concealing the aftermath of Chloe's actions. The conversation unfolds as Ray scrutinizes the premises. Unbeknownst to Henry, Ray is already aware of his identity. Alan rushes to aid Henry, but Ray injures him severely before he turns invisible. Ray ascends the stairs, finding Chloe attempting to free Mary. She shoots, but Alan intervenes, sacrificing himself to save Chloe. Enraged, Chloe manipulates Ray's mind, compelling her to take her own life. Chloe bids a final farewell to her grandfather. Outside, police surround the house after hearing gunshots, yet Chloe continues her mission to save her mother. Controlling the guards, she thwarts Mary's captors, allowing her mother to escape and fly away using her powers. Overwhelmed, Chloe succumbs to unconsciousness due to the excessive use of her abilities. Meanwhile, a missile targets the house, and the weakened Henry uses his powers to slow it down. Carrying Chloe outside, he shields her as the missile strikes, incinerating the house. Upon awakening, Henry shares his last words of love before succumbing to his gunshot wound. Grieving her father's death, Chloe hears gunshots as ADF agents persist in their pursuit. The gunfire halts when Mary arrives in the nick of time to rescue Chloe. In their inaugural meeting, Chloe and Mary share a poignant moment. Mary pledges to conceal and safeguard Chloe eternally. However, Chloe asserts that hiding is unnecessary, and they can choose to live wherever they desire.